This is Suzanne Berman, and she is going to talk about what she wants to do on the school board. Then we're going to hear from Councilman Joash Schulman. He's already an elected. He is rerunning, and so we need him back. Okay? So without further ado,
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jan, for stepping into a role that's even more work and still zero pay. So very much appreciate you doing that, and thank you so much.
Zero.
And thank you so much, Andy and Trish, for hosting us in your beautiful home. It's so nice to have a place, and it was amazing to have Andy and Jan approach me and say, hey, we want to do this for you. You just show up, which is, if you've ever run for anything, you know, is just the most incredible gift. So thank you guys so much. Just to give you a little bit of background, I'm Suzanne Berman. I'm absolutely thrilled to be running for school board in District 9. I was born and raised in Virginia Beach, grew up in Bay Lake Pines, went all through public school in Virginia Beach, left to go to William & Mary, where I met my best friend who's here visiting from Maryland. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention my other best friend who I met when we were 3 at the Episcopal preschool we went to over in Old Nation. And she is a Virginia Beach City public school teacher. So round of applause. I come from a family of educators. So my mother, Ginger Ferris, who some of you may know, is here. And she spent her career teaching teachers how to teach, as I used to say as a kid. So she was an elementary education professor at what was then Virginia Wesleyan College and has impacted teachers all over this region. So appreciate her as well. So I graduated from Cox, I graduated from William & Mary, and then I built a career in grassroots organizing, which my husband says, nobody knows what that means, don't use that term. So some people do though, I tell them that. I also have a master's degree in public affairs from the University of Texas, which combined public policy and public administration to figure out how to do jobs like the school board. That was one of the things we focused on. So I'm excited to put these tools into play. And these 20 years of experience that I have in stakeholder engagement, another word I'm not supposed to say, but bringing together everyday people, normal individuals, people who are impacted by our policies, and taking their views and expertise and everyday experiences and sharing that with elected officials so that we can improve policies and they make sense for our community and for the people that they impact. So with the school board, that is families, students, and our staff and teachers. And what I have seen in our school board recently is that we don't have enough meaningful engagement with the people who are impacted by the policies. Some of the folks in this room have done a great job in trying to move things forward, but the board as a whole has not been able to engage stakeholders in the way that I'd like to see. So I have 3 main things that I think we need to focus on. I think the biggest issue on our school board is the way we make our policies, right? The school board is a few people and a few committees are writing policies behind a closed door based on what they think or want to say publicly. That doesn't necessarily take into account how those things are going to play out in the classroom. So it is much more important that we talk to families. How is it going to impact you if we suddenly add 10 minutes to the school day and have to change everything about your home life? And talk to the teachers. How is that going to affect the fact that you have to change every single thing you do all day, adding 30 seconds to the high school bells so that we can get 10 minutes more to meet a policy that we created and could change and waive for an unexpected situation? That is really important. Also thinking through things like technology use. So we need to be very smart and thoughtful about our technology use. I think we are in a very particular, interesting time right now where we had increased our technology use even for our youngest kids, and we're starting to see the negative impacts of that, right? We all knew it was coming, but we were trying to survive, and now we're trying to right that path. So that is one piece of it. But then on the other side, we got AI and all these technological advances that are coming even faster than we can ever imagine. It is literally inhuman. So we have to have a smart and thoughtful continuum of teaching our youngest kids and continuing throughout their lives how to be good people, how to connect with folks, how to use manipulatives, how to read, write, arithmetic, the basics. They're already getting that, but let's do that with less screens, be able to build over time. So by the time our students are graduating from high school, they are ready for this workforce, whatever that's going to look like next year, 5 years, 10 years. And we are investing in the tools to get them ready. At the same time, we need to make sure we are thinking about the protection concerns of online use and technologies and the ethical concerns and preparing that and peppering that throughout their education as well. So that's something that I'm very concerned about. The third thing, which is one of the big reasons I got into this race, is teacher compensation and respect. It is bigger than compensation, but one of the reasons I got into this race is that we were paying the least in Hampton Roads, 7 out of 7. We also unexpectedly doubled the cost of our healthcare for our teachers and staff. When you are making $55,000 a year starting off, and then all of a sudden you now have to pay $400 a month for insurance, that is a huge deal. And I have seen how our teachers have burned out, and they feel like they are not being respected. Their pay is not respecting them, and also, again, the way we're doing our policies is not respecting them. So it is a bigger issue than compensation, but we all know we have to live in this world that is constantly getting more expensive. So certainly that is a piece of it, and something that I want to make sure we are continuing to pay our staff better and investing in the heart of our schools, because we all know if we don't have teachers that feel like they are supported, they are going to burn out, and we are going to lose them. We can't retain and recruit the top talent if we don't pay and respect them. So that is a huge issue for me. My lovely friend here, I see firsthand how challenging it can be to be a teacher in the schools. So really appreciate her letting me use the example of her life in my remarks. Thank you. And so I need your help. My race is less than 100 days away. And if you know my opponent, I am running against a quarter of a century of name recognition. So I believe, and I am confident that I will do a good job at this job, and that everyone I talk to is going to be interested in my race and supporting me. But I have to get out there more. I have to get into these neighborhoods that may have an HOA and you can't put up a sign, or it's only 10 people show up at a Civic League meeting, and so I can talk to those 10 people, but maybe they don't want me at the Civic League because it's partisan and it's da-da-da-da. So I need your help in getting out there more. I have a volunteer sign-up sheet that Brian is going to pass around that I hope you'll sign up for. I need people to be canvassing with me, to be talking about why I'm running. I should also say that I've been the PTA president at my kid's school for a while, so I know I have a lot of good support in my actual neighborhood. And our next PTA president is here in the room too, so thank you for that. But I also could use some financial support. Yard signs are expensive, but I do feel if you've seen some hot pink signs coming up recently, I've given out about 300 signs, and I think kind of the pinker the sign, the more nervous the candidate. So I'd love for you all to take my yard sign when you leave today. Also has some other great volunteer opportunities, postcarding, calling, and would love to talk to anybody. So I will have coffee with people. I will show up at your house for a small event. It doesn't have to be something with a flautist. It can be something small and more intimate, or it can be at a coffee shop or a restaurant or anything. Would just really love to get out there. So please come talk to me afterwards. Maybe if you have any pressing questions, I can take those later, but just really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Thank you to our host. Thank you to the BBDC. Really appreciate your endorsement. So thank you.
So first of all, I just wanted to say thank you very, very much to Andy and Trish and Jan. Jan, I don't know if you volunteered or you got voluntold, but you always show up. All of you always show up, and it's incredibly. It's amazing, especially when somebody like a me or a Suzanne or a Chris or a Alvita or a Melinda, we put ourselves out there and and Sharon, God love you, nice to see you. I mean, so we just we're out there and we know y'all have our backs, and it's so important because there is nothing in life that is truly important that you do by yourself, period, end of story. So first of all, I just wanted to acknowledge Suzanne as being the best PTA president I've ever seen at the Elementary School. And Amber, thank you for, stepping in and filling that role.
I got big shoes to fill.
And if you're an educator in this room, would you please, or a former educator, would you please raise your hand? Thank you. And so I see Miss Minchin back here. So she taught both my girls at the elementary school, and I grew up in Michigan, in the Detroit area, in a place where if I went to the public school, I probably would have got stabbed or shot or thrown out the window. I mean, just to be honest with you. And the reason I live in Virginia Beach, the reason that people move here to Virginia Beach, and the reason why businesses come to Virginia Beach to create opportunity for other people is because of our schools, and it's because of these people in this room. So,
Thank you.
absolutely 100% true. So, I brought these. Suzanne was right. It is expensive to run for office. So I brought these with me. These were from when I ran, 3 years, 6 months, and 3 days ago. And I count because every single day counts. I really do mean that. Government moves slow, time moves fast. People, just the things that we do are, they take time, money, and effort. And unfortunately, they take too much time. And Chris, I just want to say thank you for being here too, from all the way across town, because decisions we're in 10-1. But decisions each and every one of us make impact all of us. So I appreciate you being here, sir, very, very much. So I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to say to y'all, but I figured the thing that I can probably most impress upon you the most is the way I approach my job. So I believe my job is about listening to people, bringing people together, and earning trust through results. Period. If I'm not effective, I'm not doing my job for you. If I'm not listening to you, I'm not doing my job for you. And if I'm not bringing people together, because Lord knows, if you read social media or the paper, I've had some tough choices to make over the last 3.5 years, right? But I don't make those choices in a vacuum. I bring people together to help make them better, different, less impactful, more respectful of our neighborhoods, our environment, and in keeping with the true character of neighborhoods and the communities that we want to see and raise our kids in. So these were the promises I made to you 3.5 years ago. So I'm going to go through some of these. I'm going to check off, and I'm going to tick off the things that I've been helping to do for you. And I'm going to stand up now because I'm excited about them, the accomplishments I've made. And if you want to go see them in detail, please go visit my website. It's Schulman, 4vb.com. I've got a whole page of stuff I've been working on, and I've been busy, and I've been proud of it. So I'll tick off the first one. Economy, help families, affordability is concern number one for everybody. I mean, things are much more expensive. We have COVID, inflation, soaring labor and materials costs. So we pay for that stuff just like y'all do at the pump. We also pay for concrete, steel, and pipes in the ground. So all of those things have become exponentially more expensive. What we've done over the last 3.5 years is we've held firm on the real estate tax for 2 budget years. We've not increased it. We've also reduced the real estate tax by 2 pennies. We've after 3 years of asking to try. So let me just explain something to you. If you give a break on the real estate tax, what you're doing is you're giving, on average, the city of Virginia Beach about $75 a month of annual savings. 2 pennies, $75 a year for you. But what that also does is it benefits companies like Kohl's and Best Buy and other people who own businesses, who own property here. People who own larger property get outsized benefit. People who own additional properties get multiple benefits. That doesn't hit our teachers, our public employees, or people who actually live here and depend on that savings. So what we did instead was we did a 10.1% reduction on your personal property tax on vehicles. So that reaches not only, that reaches anybody who has a vehicle that's registered here. So that means if you're living in an apartment, you don't see the real estate tax breaks your landlord gets because that never comes to you. But if you're driving your car, you will have $80, maximum $80 per vehicle, which equals a heck of a lot more than $75 a year for a real estate tax break. So education. When I first got into office, I worked with the school board and the council to make sure that we had, we have 87 buildings. 91? Well, including administration, but 87 school buildings, right? So those are never going to get rebuilt on the timeline that we have right now. I mean, it's just we've not given that the level of attention and priority we deserve. I saw an opportunity to coalesce support around design to help basically bring the cost down over time. If you buy all the brick, all the steel, all the concrete from 3 schools at one time, it saves you money instead of trying to chase after inflation. So right now what we have is, thank goodness, and thank you school board, it looks like we'll have Princess Anne High School rebuilt, and it'll be in a reasonable amount of time, God willing. And we have Betty F. Williams and the Bayside 6th grade campus being repurposed and worked into an integrated educational experience for these kids. And then unfortunately, we have Bayside High School kicked off into 2070 land at almost $1 billion. So I would rather, so I'm somebody who I would rather confront reality, confront difficult decisions and make those decisions as opposed to kick them down the road for other people, decades away. So, and in so doing, and again, thank you, Alvita, and we've had wonderful dialogue around conserving the Bayside 6th grade campus for a public park in Aragona Village. They have one of the largest neighborhoods represented in District 4 and 9 that don't have a public park, and they will have one thanks to all of your leadership. And we would truly appreciate the collaboration there. We've also conserved other property, environmentally sensitive property. So Crab Creek, if you're familiar with Ocean Park at the end of Dinwiddie by where I think it's called Lock Haven Park is in the Brock Center. So I worked with the property owner to help avoid at least 5 condos going there in space that is used as an outdoor classroom for, thank goodness, for our environmental studies program and our academies. And that property will be preserved forever. It will be owned by the city, and it will serve as that linchpin connecting the east side of Ocean Park all the way through to the Brock Center of Pleasure House.
Awesome.
So I'm extremely proud of it. And I know I took heat for the Pleasure House Point Wetlands Restoration Project. That is a classic example of it's a classic example of 12 years ago we had a plan to do a wonderful thing. We conserved 86 acres of maritime forest. We reserved and preserved the acres that the Chesapeake Bay Foundation has. And then we always knew that we were going to use 8 of those acres to restore tidal wetlands that had been filled in with millions of cubic yards of dredge material by the Army Corps 30 years ago. Because that, number one, 12 years ago, there wasn't money or political will to do it. And now flooding is a priority for our community because as blessed as we are with water, water also presents its challenges to us. So we went ahead and we got the political will. I was not the only person on the council to vote for it. It was, I believe, 10 votes that day, and Jennifer was absent, so it was unanimous. We voted to restore these wetlands, and in so doing, we improved the ecology of the area. I mean, if you look at that place right now, I'm just curious, how many people have been out there? Have you seen it? especially right now, after those grasses have gone in, we saved 700 trees, saplings, live oak trees. We planted 350,000 wetlands grasses. We saved wetlands grasses to use in other shoreline restoration projects, and that was a tough choice. I mean, it was a tough choice. We had to cut down a bunch of trees, and that was a trade-off, and it was unfortunate. But so what I'm really trying to tell you is that I'm not afraid to make tough choices, because that's why you put me here. You didn't, I mean, and I think personally, one of the reasons I ran for office is because this area has been historically underinvested in terms of infrastructure, roads. All you gotta do is look at Shore Drive and Pleasure House Road and know that, I mean, and hey, we got sidewalks on Shore Drive. You know, I mean, they've been asking for it for 30 years. It took me 3. I don't know why it took them so long. It took, all you have to do is be focused on what people need, what people are asking you to do, and just try and find a way to do it. And that means working with everybody. And I'm really proud of that. Like I have good support. It crosses party lines. I've got support of my colleagues. I just learned the other day I have the support of our public safety professionals from fire and EMS. And again, it takes people around you to do the things that are difficult. And I'm not scared to do difficult things. And I guess the last, I've got kids. They're 11, and 8. They're all girls, and I'm in trouble. And I've got little pink in my sign, but it's because I'm confidently pink. And what matters to me are the pedestrian, the traffic safety, the cyclist safety stuff. I mean, because I grew up, again, I don't know if I told you this, but I grew up in Michigan and came down here 18 years ago. And I came down here, and I've been blessed to be here and ingratiated by a wonderful community and find a way to like make a job and a career. And oops, I bumped my head and ran for office. But this is a place where we all enjoy and deserve to be outdoors and safe. We deserve to cross the street and have it be safe. So sidewalks on Shore Drive, Lookout Road is going to have a sidewalk between where the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel is and H-Can and the Bay. I got money for a Western Bayfront parking and access study that will help try finally to solve some of the problems of our beach access ways and our congested parking along the bayfront, so it makes sense, so you don't have to pat your head and rub your stomach in circles to go try and find a parking place and take your kids to the beach. Speaking of kids at the beach, I know they got to go to the bathroom. I got bathrooms at Chicks Beach, you know, I mean, because I don't even understand how that wasn't even a thing before. So we'll have 5 new crosswalks and pedestrian refuges on Independence between Broad Street and Pleasure House Road. So, and where Church Point lets out, right at First Court by the rec center and by the park, there will be a button that you can push. I need that button. There'll be a button that you can push to let people know that pedestrians are present so that you can safely cross the street. I mean, these are just basic things that we just don't have, and for whatever reason, we've not had them for the last 30 years. But I'm going to keep working for you with your help. Thank you very much. And if that works for you, I will keep working for you too. So, thank you very much.
So, Josh and Suzanne, if you come up to him, we'll take a few.
I'd love to get all the electeds and candidates up for.
Do you want to do a picture real quick?
If you don't mind, but definitely down. I put my phone down now, like maybe.
Chris, get your butt up here.
And then we'll take a few questions for Josh and Suzanne.
Chris, come on. School board over here. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
And I'm gonna just ask for 1 more minute of your time.
I got t-shirts and stuff over there if anybody wants any of this.
Yeah.
I do. I've got t-shirts.
I need to get there first.
I gotta go to my girl. Come on in.
Ah, there we go.
Here we go.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Did you get one just with the four of us?
No.
Okay.
I'll step away.
No, no, no.
I thought you meant, no, I think you meant like the school board people.
Right.
School
Yeah.
board, you want school board?
Well, all of us.
Run this
Just
room.
can't, I guess can't.
The candidates.
Current candidate.
We have everyone.
Ready? Let's go.
Photo.
Here we are. Perfect.
Right.
No, thank you.
No, we-
Any questions for Josh and Suzanne? Just
Yes.
we want to be mindful of everyone's time. Just a couple of real quick questions, maybe.
Well, it is more of a comment, because I never hear this. I've been seeing online from people that I trust their sources, that donating money to down ballot candidates can assist up ballot by like 1 to 2%, and the inverse is not true. So when thinking about where to donate your money, whether it be to, the Senate race, or the school board, or the city council race, the money that the local candidates can use, I'm guessing it has to do with letting their local people know about the election and people get out. It does help up ballot. So that's really just a comment.
That's actually very, very true. And the turnout in the presidential election in 2024 in Virginia Beach was 66% of the voters. 66%. In 2025, kind of the off-year election, like this year, the turnout was about 50%, so down 16%. Okay, so there is not only do we have those two districts 4 and districts 10, where big Democratic districts but low turnout. Turnout really drops off, and that happens nationwide, but really dropped off in Virginia Beach from the presidential election 24 to last year's election. So we're expecting, if history's any guide, it'll be another kind of low turnout election. So it really is important that we get our people out voting.
Can I add on that? We are luckier than we probably would know in District 9, because that means we'll never be during a presidential election or a gubernatorial. So, congressional, yes, and but that makes these elections about local issues, and it really does matter when we have this kind of dialogue and engagement.
And I will say, I guarantee you, I'm much more excited about $100 than Mark Warner is. So definitely get a lot more bang for your buck there.
A lot of impact.
Yeah.
I get that question a lot. Where should I donate my money for the Democratic cause? I tell people, donate it locally. Don't donate it to the city council race or the school board race. $25 there really does help. Really has an impact. Those signs are expensive.
Precinct captains here for Bayside Presbyterian. If anybody wants to jump on early for November, let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Yes.